everyone.
Welcome to episode 9.
And happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah, happy Valentine's Day. Hopefully this will be up by tonight. I'm gonna...
/ happy belated Valentine's Day. Is that how that works?
Yeah, this is our love going into tomorrow. The 15th. The 15th is honestly a more important day for me. Because it's half price chocolate day.
Right.
I mean, not even half price. Some of it goes up to like 70%. It's so good.
And tomorrow is Susan B. Anthony's birthday.
Well, that one's important to you. Well, I guess it's important to everybody.
Just letting you guys know. In case you were wondering.
In case. Okay. Well, so we're not doing a random decider this week. I'm taking the
initiative.
The bull by the horns.
Okay.
Getting up and going someplace. Oh, she's closing the door.
I'm closing the door.
But, so yeah, I'm taking the initiative this week because I just want to get my part over with.
Okay.
Because love was a little bit hard. Love was pretty hard for me, not gonna lie. And I mean, there's a lot of stuff that can relate to love with that, but I kind of didn't want to do, something that was like super duper morbid, or something that was like, oh man, I love this girl so much that I killed her. Like, that was like the only thing that was jumping to my mind right away, unfortunately, because I wanted to do romantic love.
Right.
And that's like, it's so hard to do it without being like creepy. So I was thinking about doing like getting married in the afterlife, like, you know, when one of the people who's betrothed dies, the other one still marries their corpse to keep them like married. And then I was like looking into all these things. I was like, are you still married after both of you die? And spoiler alert, most religions, no, you're not still married. There's no marriage in the afterlife for some reason.
I really wish you did that topic because now I'm intrigued. I'm like, what the fuck?
Well, that's another episode then.
Okay, for some other day.
But, so what I finally settled upon was something that I had already kind of touched on before, in our Death in the Family episode.
Okay.
So I did Memento Mori / specifically, postmortem photography in that episode.
Yes.
And I kind of wanted to touch back onto Memento Mori, but basically, specifically, the locks of hair. So that's kind of what I'm pointing to this week.
Very cool.
So, the locks of, like, hair is super important. I mean, it's not as important as it is today, as it was back in the Victorian area. Back in the Victorian era, like the 18th, 19th century. But it was once believed that, and I mean, a lot of places today, it still holds a lot of power. And I mean, hair is a sign of beauty. It's a sign of health, which isn't necessarily true, but I feel like a lot of people have those sort of stigmas on it.
Absolutely.
Because, I mean, if you see somebody who's bald, I mean, not so much for men and masculine people, but if you see, like, an older woman who's bald, you're like, she's probably had cancer. And that's just something you think, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But, so, it still has power and weight today. But back then, there was, like, a huge thing about it. And a lot of people gave locks of hair to one another as a sort of symbol of your love or a symbol of remembrance. So, I was doing a lot of research, and a woman named Lisa Butterworth had done a pretty lengthy article on this. It was really interesting. I really liked it. But she quoted Helen Shoemaker's book, Love and Twine, The Curious History of Hairwork in America. And hairwork is basically, this is not the quote yet, but hairwork is basically doing the crafts, jewelry, hair wreaths, lockets, anything with the hair that you were receiving from this loved one, whether they were still alive or deceased, because it was a big practice to cut hair from the deceased body to keep with you. So, hair work is what they call the work done with that hair. And the quote from the book is, hair work asserted the importance of the individual in a physical and emotional way. Today, when we encounter hair work in the odd bit of jewelry on display at a museum or in a novel, or in a hair wreath at the local historical house, or in a loose bit of hair in an old letter, we confront a relic of the living, breathing reality of someone long deceased. So it's like, it's this really cool thing because it wasn't just something that they owned, it was something that they grew. Like, the deceased person grew this. This was a part of their I think that's why people find it
Oh.
so morbid.
I get it now. I'm sorry, I was like, how is the dead person growing anything? Because they're dead. Okay, I'm there now.
Yeah, you're there now.
I'm there now.
Yeah, no, they grew it at one point, and it was clipped from their body. Because, I mean, if you take, like, we taxidermy animals all the time, and it's a little bit creepy.
I think it's creepy. Not even gonna lie.
It's pretty creepy. But, I mean, I've seen one or two people taxidermy, like, human things, but I couldn't imagine it. I couldn't.
No.
I mean, teeth are one thing. I like teeth. I'm that morbid person who likes teeth.
That's cool. Hey.
But, like, you can't take, like, a human finger and wear that. You can't. That's weird.
I mean, you could.
You could, but it's not
weird.
Yeah. I mean, I guess bones would be a different thing because we keep human skulls all the time. There's also another tradition, I actually have this myself, when you pass away, if you get cremated, you can have your ashes stuffed into small pieces of jewelry.
Yeah,
I
have one.
Yeah, I have one too, of my father. My mom and my sister also have one too. So that's a little less, that's a little more inconspicuous than if you had, like, a fucking finger hanging around your neck.
Because I have my best friend's ashes. And I have that in a little pendant, and I was going to wear that my wedding day, just so he's with me, and Henry's going to wear his fedora, just so he's there and present. So, because we're morbid as fuck. I don't know what to tell you.
So it's most commonly the hair work was put into lockets, jewelry, things like that, especially if the person's deceased. But, so I kind of wanted to get into briefly before going back to some of the history of it. I kind of wanted to get into a little bit of symbolic nature because I was reading the Wikipedia page because I'm an awful historian. Just a FYI, Wikipedia is actually a very good source for information because it is edited by so many people, and if you do something wrong on it, you get banned for fucking life.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you do. And a lot of the times, museums are actually working with Wikipedia to edit these since it's a very big crowdsourcing opportunity. I've participated in a few wikithons at RIT where we would edit the RITpedia.
Yeah.
So that was just know Wikipedia is a pretty good source.
These days, now that we've moved on from just free crowdsourcing and you can post whatever the fuck you want, and now it's like being peer edited only like a million times.
Oh yeah. But yeah, so a few of the because I mean hair is obviously a very big sentimental factor.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is the hair of my loved one. If you have like a lock of baby's hair, that's super sentimental. Especially if the baby passed away, which 18th, 19th century, easily done.
Oh, absolutely.
But a few of the things that were listed on the Wikipedia is primitive belief maintains that so if you own a lock of hair from somebody's head, it gave you power over the individual, much like owning a piece of their clothing or an image of them. So this traces back to magic, pagan, voodoo, stuff like that. So if you have something of theirs, then you have power over them. And magic and hair can even be traced to the biblical story.
Which one? There's a lot.
I know there's a lot. It was in the song. You can tell I haven't been to church in 11 years. Samson? No, probably not. I'm not a religious person.
Something with Solomon?
Solomon, maybe. When the girl cut his hair, and he lost all of his magic, or all of his strength.
Yeah, I've never heard that one.
You've never heard that one? That one's one of the most famous ones.
I went to church for 16 years.
Well, that was one of the biggest ones to besides fucking Eve, to
I know the prostitute that cleaned Jesus' feet with her hair.
No.
That's what I got.
That was pretty powerful too.
Yeah.
But another one that I found really funny is an old Irish superstition. The Irish have a lot of superstitions. It's fucking stupid. But I'm sorry. It's great. I love it. But sometimes you gotta stop being afraid of fairies. A little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit.
Fight those fairies.
No.
Riding those into
Actually,
supernatural
you know...
I got that reference.
Wow. I didn't get that reference, but wow.
Supernatural fandom for the win.
Oh my god, Amanda. But, no, actually, I take that back. Maybe you should be afraid of fairies. I don't want anything to happen to me now. I'm like, wait, was that too... Okay, anyway. But yeah, no, an old Irish superstition held that, it is actually unlucky to accept a lock of hair. Or a four-footed beast from a lover. So if a lover gave you a lock of hair, it's unlucky.
They're literally the only people in Europe, / they're not really part of Europe because they're an island, but like the only place that would say that it's unlucky.
Yeah.
Because it's like all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not in Africa or maybe, I don't know. But
yeah, no, I wanted to get into that, but I didn't.
At least in the Western world, that's like a huge thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm Irish though.
The Irish. So, also in the Victorian times, it was common for bereaved members to keep locks of hair from their deceased loved ones.
Which totally makes sense why we have 2 locks of hair of Susan B. Anthony.
Oh, really? I didn't know we had Susan B. Anthony hair.
Yeah, we have 2. One before she died and one when she was laying in state.
Oh,
yeah.
Because they often did that. I actually have a note here about it. Where it is said that, so especially if the person was famous enough, you'd take it beforehand, and then while they were lying on, they would take it from the back of the head so it wasn't unsightly.
Right.
Yeah, but basically a lot of the people in the Victorian times especially kept it in small jars, lockets, they made it into bracelets or earrings or anything wearable, really. And a lot of the reason for a lot of this and how they're such big pieces sometimes, especially with like whole bracelets made out of hair or the hair wreaths, is because a lot of the time women went their entire lives without a haircut. So it was something...
That makes so much sense.
Yeah, so it contained their entire lives. Like, you know how there's actually different cultures, I believe in Japan, if you cut your hair, it's kind of like starting over, or you cut your hair after a long period of time or something like that to have a new point in your life. I've done that once or twice. Well, I've done that once. It's kind of like it's a new chapter because as long as your hair grows, it's been with you through everything that you've done.
Right.
So cutting it off is kind of like, okay, here's a new stage in my life. So when they die, it's practically like a film reel, but not really.
Right.
So when you make something out of it, I guess it means even more. And so the hair work actually spiked during the Civil War because men would give their wives cuts of their hair to remember them by. And it's seen in old letters, packages of sentimentality, things like that. So if you have old letters from the Civil War era, stuffed up in the attic somewhere, sometimes like from your great grandpa or something. I mean, I don't know.
Great
grandpa, great grandpa. I don't know.
At least 3 greats, at least.
At least 3 greats.
Maybe 4.
There's lots of hair up there. And especially during this era when things started to become more scarce, women started to DIY their own jewelry from their hair. So they would make the brooches and pins and things like that. So that was kind of I mean, hair's really pretty, so I don't really even blame them. Like, if you look at some of these things, they're gorgeous. Like, I
haven't seen any of these, so for me, I'm just thinking of, like, my hair's high and how it gets all of my hair caught in it. And
no. So, like,
they're
like, they braid the hair and then they put, like, lacquer over it. So it's, like, shiny and it has a smooth surface. So it's, like, a braided texture underneath. Like, it's really cool. I'll have to, I'll upload some images to the Facebook after this.
Okay.
Along with this episode so that we have,
some reference photos.
Yeah, so this is, because these are really gorgeous. I think they're really pretty, and I know they're a little bit more of a nowadays, especially with that intro that we had, introducing them, but, yeah. So, back to, basically, the thick of it. Because it's hair. That was such a bad joke.
You're
anyway,
so funny.
Oh, no, I'm not. No, so it started to dip at the end of the 19th century due to technology coming to the focus. We've gone past the Industrial Revolution, all that good stuff. And so since technology became more prevalent, people wanted more mass-made items, and sentimentality dropped with the items. They didn't want as many sentimental items as they wanted things that were quick and easy to use. 2 more fun facts, and I'm done with my segment. So one of the biggest collections of hair work is in Independence, Missouri Museum, and it was collected by Layla Cahoon, Cohoon, and it features over 1,000 pieces of hair work.
Whoa.
Yeah, that she's collected over 60 years.
That's crazy.
And then Edgar Allan Poe's hair is, like, floating all around. Like, there's at least 12 instances of his hair, I think, in North America alone.
I want some of that.
Just attached to letters and other things. So it's not, like, super duper,
That's cool as shit.
It is really cool, but it's not super rare.
I love Edgar Allan Poe. I don't care how fucking rare it is.
But, a lot of it was given as a gift while he was still alive. And then a lot of it was taken from the back of his head, too. But, like, yeah.
Wow.
It's crazy. But, yeah, so that's hair work. And, alright. So we're going to pass this over to you.
So, in the beginning, I was like, I just want to do, like, a quick introduction. And then I was doing all the research. And then it just turned into such a big topic that I just was like, fuck it. That's my topic for today.
Alright.
So, because it's Valentine's Day, I wanted to give you guys a little overview on why we have Valentine's Day and the origin story.
Oh.
And then I realized, shit, books have to do with it. So I'm like, yep, I'm keeping it.
Oh my god.
Because it happened.
Okay.
That's what happened. Some people know this story.
Okay.
Some people don't.
Okay.
But this is like, I probably read 10 to 15 sources for this shit. And I cannot even start to piece together what the fuck this holiday is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm so confused because no one actually knows. Ugh. This is going to be a roller coaster. So, in 1853, the New York Times called Valentine's Day, and I totally agree with this, now doing the research, quote, one of those mysterious historical or antiquarian problems which are doomed to never be solved.
Oh, yeah.
That's where we're at.
There's so many of those.
Just to preface this.
Oh, my
preface
god.
the preface. So the most common origin story comes from ancient Rome and the festival of Lupercalia.
Okay.
So Lupercalia is one of the goddesses of Lupercal. Is one of the goddesses of fertility. She is the mother of Regulus and Romulus.
Oh, yeah.
The 2 founders of Rome.
Yeah.
So she's their mother, and so it's a festival dedicated to her. It's a wine-induced fertility rite where men and women are paired off. It is characterized by modern-day historians as a day of nudity and debauchery.
Wonderful.
Including, quote, men getting naked, sacrificing goats, and then using strips from the skins to chase and whip nearby women.
What?
Thereby improving the women's fertility.
No.
Like, so
no.
it's sheep and, I heard, also dogs. That they would do that.
Well,
and it's like, it sounds, in my head I had a picture of naked women just running around with naked men chasing them, trying to whip them, but actually women were lining up. And it was like the civil thing. It's not like they were chased around. Women were lined up to get whipped with these skins because they believed it would help them produce babies. And it was like this really sacred thing, and it was an honor to be chosen. Like, this crazy shit.
Oh my god.
It gets more screwed up.
Rome is fucked up.
Right. And the ritual also included a matchmaking session.
Okay.
Which bachelors selected the names of their sweethearts from the urn. So all of the available women put their name in an urn, and the men drew them out. Whoever they got was their sexual comrade for a year.
Sexual comrade.
Well, it was sexual companion, that's it.
I know.
Sexual companion for a year.
Like, what if you got Weird Larry? Like, can you imagine that? If you got the weird guy?
I know.
I mean, I wouldn't even be happy about the situation in the beginning. Like, I'm gay as fuck. I don't want to be paired up with some guy.
Yeah. For real, though.
Like, seriously. Okay, anyway, keep going.
So this festival is traditionally on February 15th.
Okay.
And then Rome became, this is during the time, so this is like ancient Rome into middle Rome when there's still an empire, but they've kind of fallen before they fell, and Christianity comes in. So you've got people who are still practicing these pagan ways, but Christianity's like, LOL, you guys suck. You guys can't do this anymore.
I mean, I'm kind of glad they got rid of that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Pope, I'm going to butcher this name, Gelasius, in the 5th century, declared that the day, February 14th, would become the first feast day of St. Valentine.
Okay.
And so historians are kind of like, okay, so the Catholic Church is trying to step in and convert these pagans to Christianity by still giving them
their
holiday, this fertility rite.
Yeah.
But it became so much more tame. First they put their clothes on, it became a clothes festival, and it became a little less drunken. But other than that, not much changed.
Oh my god.
The ideas of fertility and love were still there. And actually, I read that a lot of the pairings from this festival actually turned into happy marriages.
Oh, well, I guess that's a little bit better.
It's not like it sucked for everyone. This is where a lot of people met their husband or their wife, was through this festival.
Okay.
So this is where everything gets so fucking complicated.
Okay.
Because there were 3 different St. Valentines.
Oh, goodness.
Recognized by the Catholic Church at this time.
Oh my god.
And no one can pinpoint which one it is.
Fucking hell.
Right. And they were all martyred on February 14th.
They were all martyred on February 14th? At the same year? No. No.
It might be the same year, but it didn't say. It doesn't say. The record, everything, I'm just like, it says, St. Valentine was martyred on February 14th, and I'm like, cool. And then one source says all 3 were martyred on February 14th. I'm like, okay. And then someone's like, but who was the real St. Valentine?
I mean, yeah.
Was he really martyred on February 14th? So yeah, really, we don't know. That's the mystery.
We don't fucking know. It's the same guy, it's just the same, like, 3 different places.
Right, basically.
He had clones.
So, the first St. Valentine is said to be a Roman priest who continued to perform marriage rites to Roman soldiers, even though it was illegal for soldiers to get married.
Aww.
And of course he was a Catholic. And then he was martyred. Killed and martyred. The second St. Valentine was said to have helped early Christians escape their Roman tortures. And the third is the most popular myth that states that St. Valentine, while he was in prison, fell in love with the jailer's daughter. And before he was beheaded, so when he fell in love with her, she was also blind, because, of course. So he heals her blindness, and that converts the jailer to Christianity.
Oh my god.
And then he's beheaded.
Because he's still...
But before he's beheaded, he writes to the jailer's daughter writes a letter and then signs it from your Valentine. Which is where we get the whole, be my Valentine for my Valentine kind of thing. So anyway, he's martyred. But today, if you ask someone who was St. Valentine, they're going to tell you that he was a Roman priest who performed marriages, even though it was illegal, who also helped Christians escape their torturers, and while he was in jail for marrying people, he fell in love with the jailer's daughter, cured her blindness, converted the guy to Christianity, and then he was killed. So all of these mythos were put into one guy, even though they are 3 different people. Because we don't know who the fuck St. Valentine was and which one it is.
Honestly, I'm all for truthful history and a revisionist history, but that makes a pretty good story, and I'm very fucking happy we learned that one in fucking school. See, I was sitting here thinking and remembering, I'm like, wasn't there something with a snake? I'm like, no.
I don't know anything about a snake.
I don't know anything about a snake either. But go ahead.
So, we're finally going to get to the books. So based on this information, historically, Valentine's Day was not about love at all.
Okay.
That is until Chaucer, in the 14th century, made it about love.
Good.
Chaucer did this out of convenience, it's actually argued. Because, so St. Valentine's Day, even then, was February the 14th.
Uh-huh.
And in the 14th century, when Chaucer was writing, Britons believed that February the 14th was the beginning of spring.
Oh.
And so he wrote the line, for quote, "For this was St. Valentine's Day, when every bird of every kind that men could imagine came to this place to choose his mate."
Oh.
And so that is the line that sparked this whole notion about St. Valentine's Day being about love and finding your mate, and basically building on, making the foundation for the modern day implications of Valentine's Day. And then after Chaucer, Shakespeare has to come and just build up this idea even more. And he's mentioned St. Valentine's Day in Hamlet. So after Chaucer, the day became synonymous with, quote, courtly love, so courting. So when I say out of convenience, it's literally because the name was the most tame out of the rest of the saints that were being celebrated in February. You have saints like Saint Scholastica.
Oh my god.
Saint Ostrobertha, Saint Eulalia, and Eromenhild. Wow. This could have been Saint Scholastica Day, but it's not. It's Saint Valentine's Day because fucking Chaucer. You're welcome.
Oh my god. Thank you, Chaucer.
So all of those other saints were also being celebrated in February. But he's just like, Valentine sounds good. And it was actually a very popular name back in the 14th century.
Oh, I kind of
So Chaucer just kind of was like, yeah, that makes sense.
There you go.
And he decided on it. So I found other like really fun facts about St. Valentine's Day, and I really wanted to share them.
Go for it.
So you know how people write XOXO? Do you know where that comes from?
No.
Okay, so it comes from the ancient Greeks.
Okay.
Because Greeks. And the letter X is the Greek letter chi.
Okay.
And it's an abbreviated word for Christ.
Oh.
So going on a Christmas tangent here, when people put down Xmas for Christmas, they're not being rude or invalidating Christmas, which I've been told many times in my life by calling it Xmas. You're actually being historically correct.
Oh my god.
Because X, Christ, miss. You're literally being fucking correct. That's how Greeks even did it. That's how Romans did it. Like, fuck off.
Fucking incredible.
So the X, when you signed a contract, you signed by the X because you're making a vow to God. So the X is the vow to God.
Oh.
And the O represents a kiss for sincerity.
Oh. Well.
So everyone thinks that the O is the hug, and the X is the kiss.
I never knew which one was which.
Opposite.
The opposite. Wow.
The X is technically the hug. Today is Frederick Douglass's birthday.
Oh.
But we don't actually know if it is.
Oh.
Since he was a slave, there was no record of the day of his birth. So he kind of just got to choose one.
I mean, I would choose Valentine's Day too. More power to him.
He chose Valentine's Day because when he was a child, he was separated from his mother. And one of the only things he remembered about her was that she used to call him her little Valentine. So that's why he chose Valentine's Day.
I'm gonna say you're cry now. Oh god.
Well, my next fact will make you laugh hysterically.
Okay.
So hundreds of years ago, the children of England would dress up as adults on Valentine's Day and sing door to door. And they'd basically go Christmas caroling on Valentine's Day, and they had like their own songbook and everything. And they would dress up as adults. It's very strange.
What the fuck?
I don't even know. In addition to his links to love, Saint Valentine is also the patron, well, one of the saints of Saint Valentine's. One of them. I don't know.
One of them.
The one that we say is the saint of love. He is also the patron saint of beekeepers, epilepsy, the plague, fainting, and traveling.
The plague.
So if you don't want to get the plague, you pray to Saint
Valentine.
If you're a beekeeper, Valentine is your man. And if you like to travel like I do, he's also your guy.
It's like choosing a D&D god here, but it's all wrapped up into one.
Right. You have no choice.
Oh my god.
In the Middle Ages, young men and women drew names from a bowl to see who'd be their Valentine, kind of like the ancient Romans. So this is where that tradition came from.
Mm-hmm.
But instead, they would wear the name printed on their sleeve for 1 week. And this is where we get the origin of the expression, to wear your heart on your sleeve.
Oh!
It comes from a Valentine's Day tradition.
Holy shit, that's amazing.
Yeah. On average, 220,000 wedding proposals are made on Valentine's Day each year.
Oh my god.
If you're one of those lucky ones, congratulations. So I'm going to reverse these two. So I think this is really funny. The Catholic Church struck St. Valentine's Day from the official calendar in 1969.
What?
So the Catholic Church does not actually recognize St. Valentine's Day as a holiday anymore. But the rest of us do. But it started out as a Catholic holiday. So let's just talk about that for a second.
Oh my god.
Right. I think it's because they don't even know which St. Valentine is anymore.
Oh, you know.
And they're just like, fuck it.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, Felicia. And then my last thing is really cute. The oldest surviving Valentine dates from 1415.
Oh, really?
It's a poem written by Charles, Duke of Orleans, to his wife. At the time, the Duke was being held in the Tower of London following his capture at the Battle of Agincourt. Probably butchered that.
Maybe. I don't know.
So that is your little...
That's so cute.
Cute little history of Valentine's Day.
Oh my god.
Thank you, Chaucer, for the modern Valentine's Day tradition.
Thank you.
So
All right.
So next week is inspired by fiction.
Yes.
I'm so excited.
You're so excited? I
I'm
still
really
have to figure it
pumped.
out for me. But I'm excited to hear yours.
It's gonna be. I have a feeling mine's gonna be really long because there's just so much complexity behind mine.
Yeah.
And yet there's so much hatred towards my topic. No, not by me, but like.
Oh, by
I
other
was
people?
trying to talk to Henry about it over dinner, my topic, and just hearing his opinions on the topic, I was just like, oh, do people actually hate this? So I'm really excited.
Oh shit, I'm excited to
I'm
hear
so
about it
excited.
now. I'm all about the discourse. Okay, so next week is inspired by fiction. We hope you had a really good Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
And I hope this is up before midnight, but we'll see. It'll be up before midnight on the fucking West Coast.
Yeah.
We're East Coast, so
Right.
yeah.
So
It'll be
you
up
West Coast people.
when it's still Valentine's for somebody.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, we will see you next week.
Have a great night /morning / whatever you're doing.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.